to this morning's video. It's Monday on GavsWeatherVids.com, which can mean only one thing. Yes, it's Europe Day. Every Monday on GavsWeatherVids.com I attempt to do a forecast for the week ahead for the European continent, and today's going to be no exception. Now, before I get on with the European outlook, just want to talk about the advertising. There'll usually be a video ad sitting underneath my weather videos here at GavsWeatherVids.com. Please play those ads. Should be supporting GavsWeatherVids.com if you do that. So this is the pressure chart for today across the continent. We've got low pressure here from the British Isles stretching out into France and central parts of Europe. Cold air associated with this up to the north. We've got high pressure up over Scandinavia, bringing very cold air still in from the Arctic and from Russia, and then through the Mediterranean. We've generally got fairly weak pressure, so we're expecting quite a few showers down there. For the upper air temperatures, we see that we've got some really cold air still sitting over Scandinavia, stretching back in towards western parts of Russia and going down into these central countries of the continent as well, moving in towards Scotland and northern parts of England. Also quite chilly through southern England, through France and into Germany as well. But the cold air, the coldest of the air actually, is further north. Then through the Mediterranean, we've got a mix of temperatures. It's actually quite mild in the upper air there, particularly in the southeast of Europe. Dew points show that it's bitterly cold across many central and northern parts of the continent, northeastern areas of the continent as well, stretching out in towards the north of Scotland, down into these central parts. Not so bad across France and going down into the west and through the Mediterranean. The dew points are actually on the mild side. So for precipitation, well, much of this across France and northern Spain is rain. We've got a mix of rain and snow going up through Britain and Ireland, and then once we get out towards the north sea into Denmark, northern Germany up in towards Scandinavia, all of this will be falling as snow. Germany, a mix of snow in the far north of Germany, rain further south, and this in the southeast is mainly going to be rain. It has to be said, through Italy, through the Adriatic in towards Balkans, down in towards Greece. Much of this will be falling as rain away from elevation. So temperatures up in the northeast, bitterly cold up there. Temperatures still well below freezing across much of Scandinavia and back in towards western Russia as well. And it's pretty cold really across many of these central parts of the continent, even out into Britain and France. Temperatures are below where they should be, but through the Mediterranean and into the southeast, the temperatures aren't too bad. Going into the middle of the week, this sort of scenario continues with the high pressure up to the north, still feeding in this very cold air from the east and the northeast across northern and northeastern parts of the continent, and still less cold conditions going on to the south of the continent. So again, the split in the upper air temperature shows that the north is cold, stretching from Russia down in towards Scandinavia, through into the central parts of Europe, and then going down in towards Britain and Ireland as well. To the south of that, the temperatures through the Mediterranean are a good deal warmer, and France, Germany, and on in towards Poland and in some of these southeastern parts of the continent, we've got temperatures very much near normal. Dew points showing that the cold air still up to the north here, with the less cold air further south, and the precipitation, well, much of this across Scandinavia is still snow, as it is into Russia as well. Going down to the British Isles, there could be some snow around in the middle of the week as well, certainly through parts of northern Germany towards northern France, the Low Countries. Yes, there could be some snow there. As we go further south though, much of this through southern France, through Corsica and Sardinia, Italy, and many of these central Mediterranean countries will be falling as rain. Temperatures through the middle of the week, north-south split, so it's very cold up here in the north, cold air going back in towards Britain, pretty chilly through France as well and Germany. Once we come down through into the Mediterranean, temperatures are a good deal warmer. Into the end of the week, and things begin to change very subtly. Low pressure starts to come in from the Atlantic, and this is trying to feed in less cold or milder air into the northwest British Isles. We've got a real battle going on actually with this high pressure to the northeast, still attempting to continue to feed in that very cold air out of Russia. So we do see a warming from the upper air temperatures through the west of Europe, France, Spain, Portugal, the temperatures in the upper atmosphere lifting up. Some of that getting into the British Isles, but there's a real battle going on for Britain. The south will get a bit milder in the upper air, but it's certainly going to stay very cold up to the north. And that cold air continues over Scandinavia and then down into these central countries. Pretty Mediterranean, actually. We're bringing the 10 Celsius isotherm up there, so it is turning really quite warm through some of these central parts of the Mediterranean. That's the place to be, really, at the end of the week. Balearics, Corsica, Sardinia. We are bringing some proper warm air up from North Africa into those countries. For the dew points at the end of the week, we're going to be seeing dew points lifting up in the northwest. It's going to be turning milder through France, Spain, Portugal, coming into some parts of British Isles. Still cold though for Scotland, still cold, bitterly cold across British Scandinavia and Central Europe as well. And for the precipitation, well, we're going to have a right mix across Britain and Ireland. We're going to have heavy rain coming into the south. That will turn increasingly to snow, I think, as it moves further north into Northern Ireland, Northern England and Southern Scotland. Heavy showers or longer spells of rain stretching down through France into Spain and Portugal as well. Many of these central parts of Europe actually dry, but it will be quite cold. And up to the northeast, this is still all going to be snow. And temperatures at the end of the week, well, look at that, really lifting up over France. Could be up to 20 degrees. 68 Fahrenheit, and that's just showing signs of trying to push into the south of British Isles, but really from the Midlands northwards it will be we will be seeing those temperatures struggling to get above freezing in those strong easterly winds. And then once you go to the northeast, these central parts of Europe, it's still quite cold, but definitely some warmer weather here coming along down to the southwest. How long that lasts, I'm not sure, because it looks as we go into next weekend, the cold air will actually win the battle probably, and it'll start to turn colder again from the northeast. So I don't think that warming across France is necessarily going to last too long. So that's it, really. We're keeping the north-south split going across Europe in the coming week. The north staying very, very cold, the south always milder. The end of the week you see that push of warmer air trying to move northwards in the west of Europe, probably not getting much further north than southern England, and then probably retreating again as the cold air comes back next weekend. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.